Good morning. Welcome to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman Bergeron. I'm a couple of minutes early this morning. I guess I'm feeling fully prepared, alive, well, happy, blessed to be here as I am every Friday. Thank you, Humanity Healing Network, for your continuous support and love to the world, to all of us who are challenged with so many things going on in our lives, and being a constant way shower for all of us. So thank you. This morning is a unique moment for me as I awakened, and I was really in a very open space. And as I thought about what my talk would be today, all I could think of was how expansive my life has become lately, on a universal level. So much has happened in a world which has closed down. I feel expanded. I feel grateful. I feel new energy and new strength in spite of what is appearing to happen for all of us in the external world that we share. And as you can see today, I have this beautiful shirt. This is let's see if I get it. Global Heart Team. We stand in love for all of you, really. And it's a small group whose practice is really to share love around the world. It's part of a group called the Good of the Whole, and under the Good of the Whole, it's called the Connection Field. And if you've not heard any of those, I invite you all to experience those. The Connection Field has a lot of offerings daily with different teachings and different people. You may find a nice space there. I know I have. And so as I begin this, journey this morning, I just want to invite you all to just take a moment to put your hands on your heart. To put your hands on your heart and feel that without this heart, without this beautiful heart, we have a very limited experience as humans. And it's time now that we expand that experience. And so these are the messages of hope that I'm bringing, is as I felt excitement and positivity this morning, that somehow the universe is promising a very new way of looking at life and a new way of experiencing love and a new way of sharing that with everyone, leaving none behind, even the ones that may hurt me or even the ones that may hurt others. And it was sort of a message of promising, that I was being promised that in my connection to divinity, in my connection to the universe, and in my connection to my spirit guides, my angels, to the elementals of earth, that I will be guided. And that was the message that wanted to come through for all of you, that you will be guided as well. And it's a promise. And promising is a very strange word. It's a strange word for all of us, really. If we look into our selves and say, how many times have I been promised something and it failed? And we can go all the way back to our childhood and realize that, yeah, we've got memories of promises that were never fulfilled. And that left us with an emotion, an energy in motion that we didn't know what to do with. And most often than others, we either expressed outwardly in some negative behavior, or we stuffed it within us. All of those unfulfilled promises. And we also realize that many times those promises were just tricks to get us to do something. I promise you, and people would swear on whatever to make us believe that they were telling us the truth. But then when it came time for that promise to be manifested, it never happened. And sometimes almost the exact opposite happened. And part of this isn't in my show notes, but it's triggering a lot of emotion and energy about our present situation in the world, how our world leaders promise us things. They talk about a cure for coronavirus. Yet, instead of helping each other, they're fighting each other because they all want ownership of whatever it is that the cure will be. So the focus has gone from helping us to filling their pockets. That's not a good way to live in a world with 8 billion people, especially when their lives are threatened. And that's part of what this universal message is today. I pulled 3 different cards randomly, and they're somehow a triad of hope. I call them a triad of hope. Hope for all of us. Because they're reminding me that when I lose hope, everything becomes dramatically diminished. Everything in my life is gray, is dull. My energy dims, and I go within and I want to hide. Yeah, Mr. Bubbly, happy, Mr. whatever, does that. Mr. I have all the answers for all of you, does that. Because I am you, and you are me. And we're all in this together. So the first message card is this simple little card here. Let's see if I can hold it up, tip it that way. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's, can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And let's take a short moment as I say that again to deepen into those words. Can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time? How many of us perhaps are yearning for that right now in this moment? How many of us have our lives upside down and confusing? And how many times can we look at the times when the stillness in our life just doesn't exist? I'm not seeing any comments on the sideline, so I don't know if any of you were here. I've had this problem before. Okay, let's do discussion then. I don't know, but that works. Current discussion. So as we move on anyway, because I don't seem to be able to correct this. Followers, multiple. Okay. The reality is that this message from A Course in Miracles really poses us with possibilities in life where we can experience that it's a possibility, that it's part of this unlimitedness that we're perhaps anticipating, this unlimited expansion that is being promised to us. And it leads to the next card, which is who kind of defines who and what is promising this. And the next card was Sacred Meditation, Sacred Space Meditation card by Eleanor von Linden. And if you can see this beautiful picture here, it's spirit guides. And it's a picture of a galaxy, a planetary nebula called SUWT2. And it's a ring structure and a binary star system. And its message is really one that we all need. We all need to remember. And it is, in quotes, I am guided by many spiritual companions. They quietly lead me on my life's journey. And she's referring to spirit guides. So many times you hear me talk about spirit guides. I call them by other names. There's angels, there's all sorts of spirit guides. What does that mean for me? Spirit guides mean for me, they are intelligence, higher intelligence with which I'm in communication. and who have my best interest as the reason for them to speak to me. And I know that each of you have that ability. And right now, the fields of energy of the universe is opening to the point where you can receive that information if you so choose. And you can deepen into that and allow yourself to really pay attention and follow it. Follow it into this expansive experience of what life really is, rather than this small container that the world of humanity has taught us to stay in. While they go off and explore the universe, we must stay in this little, because only they have the power to do this. Only they, no, not only they, each and every one of us have the ability to tap into, to see and explore the greater universe right here within our own physical body and within our own minds. And right now, the world that has controlled us realizes that we are on that edge right now. We are on the verge of a great expansion. And they fear the loss of their power. And the loss of their power will happen. You cannot control universal energies. No matter what we try to do, we cannot stop the universe from sharing its wisdom with us. And for thousands of years, this is what has been done. We've focused on certain individuals and certain teachings to guide us and give us the rules and the guides. And over those thousands of years, they have been distorted, they have been rewritten, they have been omitted, and they have been changed to serve a select few and control a much larger group. So when we listen to spirit guides, what we're doing is bypassing all of what has been taught. And what we've been taught is not to trust them, not to believe in them. We've also been told that when we learned about the stars, that they had no significant influence on our personal lives. Yet, energetically, they have far more influence than we could ever imagine. The stars, those distant little lights in the sky that we ooh and ah about, need to be honored with greater respect because they are our ancestors. Our sun is a star. And within all those star systems, there are living beings. Maybe not in a human form, but there is life in all star systems. And many of them may be our spirit guides right now, connecting to us. Because the spirit world is expansive. Spirit guides are with us all the time. We have the choice to feel them or deny their existence. And we can choose to believe them or not listen to them, as well as we can choose to respond to their guidance and their protection, and respond to others with guidance and protection. This is what this expansion, limited expansion, hinges on, is our learning to listen to the universe. It's the key to our unlimited expansion. And it doesn't operate on human logical terms. It operates on divine principles, sacred mathematics, which isn't even mathematics at that level, that can't be understood really with our third dimensional terms or language. So we have to open ourselves to something radically new. And we have to begin to trust deeper, at a deeper level, many thought forms that were there when we were developing as infants. Yet the world around us, as we began to understand it, from that point in our existence, started to get shut down. And we were told and taught how to operate in limitedness. We came in as infants as these expansive beings, open to everything. And slowly, over time, we were made or taught to close down our thinking, close down our hearts, close down and can't conform. Most of you who are listen to this broadcast are nonconformers. Otherwise, you wouldn't continue to listen. Because there's a part of you that knows that nonconformist part in you and is struggling to try and bring that out and express that in a world that punishes nonconformers, actually punishes nonconformers. So right now, what's really going on for all of us is we've been promised by divine higher being, however you want to experience that. We've been given a promise of unlimited expansion. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about what would that look like for each of you. The last card I pulled this morning is this card by my friend Mia. And it's a soul inspiration message card by Kalia. And it reads, to open the grandeur of the universe beyond the limit of what it seems. The grandeur of the universe beyond the limit of what it seems. Here we are. We're on the threshold, looking out at this vast imagining of possibilities. possibilities for humanity to evolve into the more deeper and accurate alignment with what it truly was created to be. We've just veered off course and we're coming back on course. Like a wayward planet in a solar system, we need to bring it back into its cycle. Rebalance, recalibrate. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty. But on many levels, our hearts will be filled with joy and love and peace and balance and harmony, simply from the fact of knowing that we're participating in this evolution, that each one of us has an important role to play in this. A role where the promise of unlimited expansion is our new frontier. This is our new frontier. And it's actually more of a frontier within us rather than what we see outside of us. So I've been talking about what's outside of us, the world, the universe, the stars. Within us. And I'm not so sure which is the reflection. Is what outside of us the reflection of what is within us? Or is within us the reflection of what is outside of us? And I pose that question to you. I pose it to myself right now in this moment as it comes through me. Where is the grand illusion in our existence? Many of us are very sure, oh, this is who I am. This is what I am. And many are sure that's what it is. That's what it is that's out there. Question that and make your alignments from within your heart. Where do you want to align? And can you align with both and bring them into balance? Can we see that one affects the other and that we actually have an input into that? We're not just subjects. We're not just dust in the wind. It all hinges on the expansion of our hearts. It all is about desire. A desire to replace the corruption and greed-based human mental construct that perpetuates trauma and suffering. Replace it with loving kindness, compassion, joy, community, respect, desire for embracing the best in each other rather than judging each other. We have a new incoming of children, infants preparing to be born, infants just being born, and children who have been born and are witnessing what's happening right now. These are the new children of Earth, and we have a responsibility as the children of Earth that we are still within our hearts. If you go deep enough, you will find that child. But they are now being gifted of being born in new physical forms where their DNA is changed. Their whole ability to embrace and comprehend universal principles is intact. And they're seeking us. They're looking for us to say, oh, there's my family. There's my family. Oh, I'm here. I recognize you. And just as much, we need to recognize them for who they are, for who they think with this unlimited expansive mind that is willing to defy and be radical and change and look and say, I don't know what sex I am, and it doesn't matter. I don't care what color I am. It has nothing to do with me. These old problems are arising right now in our structure to remind us that those hold us to an old pattern and an old form of existence that, if you look around the world right now, has destroyed the water, has destroyed the earth, has destroyed the air, and has destroyed the most precious of all things, the beautiful planetary caretakers, us. So I feel like I've done a preaching today. And perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. And I don't apologize for my preaching. I honor the gift that I have so many who support me in doing this. And if my preaching or my talking influences one thought, then I've succeeded. I often say it's like being Johnny Appleseed. You go and you plant the apple seeds. You don't know if they're going to grow. You don't know what's going to happen. But you just go and you plant them. And maybe 200 years from now, somebody will wander into an apple orchard and say, oh my goodness, isn't this beautiful? This is who each of us are. So the message really, as I close, is to keep your hearts open, no matter how much it hurts. To know that you are never alone. You are never, ever, ever alone in all of this. And as more of us reach into our sovereignty, we also reach out or hold out a hand, sometimes two hands. These two things that are waving at you, these two hands, hold them out for someone else to grab a hold and not sink any further into the quicksand of despair. For it's there in that despair that we continue to deny who we truly are and perpetuate the same negative processing of life over and over again. With the one exception now being that the universe around us is evolving. And the universe around us is helping our beloved mother planet, Earth, evolve as well. And therefore, everything on planet Earth has to evolve as well. And if it chooses not to evolve, it won't. And with the evolution comes existence. So my heart today is that I hope you have heard the positive aspects of what has come through me this morning, and to find ways in your own lives to make those small adjustments, to open your minds to that promise of unlimited expansion, to step into it, to try it on for size, however you want to embrace it. The key is to no longer fear it, because there is no fear in expansion. I love you, I thank you, I respect you, I am you, you are me, we are unity. May every molecule of water in your body feel the resonance of those words and carry them to every single solid sacred inch of your body and refresh and renew it. Until next week, I remain Charlie Riverman Bergeron. And now the person with the Global Heart t-shirt with the Earth Angel on it and the toroidal field above it, loving you in all the ways that I can. As a gift from myself and all with whom I communicate. So I'll have to read your comments on the sidelines later and answer them or send you love through them. And I respect you all for tuning in and showing up and knowing, not just to me, but to all positive speakers who are really feeling the need to come alive. And I hope that many of you are them as well, and that you also find the strength and the courage to speak your truth in public in whatever way brings you humility and grace. Have a great week as I somehow find a way to get out. Yes, end live video. So we end live. We began live. We end live. It's all just an amazing process.